Well, hi there. My name's Dean, and if you don't know me, it doesn't matter. No, I'm Dean. I'm from the UK, and I do various videos on YouTube regarding nowadays RC cars and the adventures that I get up to. It's a small channel. Got quite a lot of videos on my channel that I've done over the years, and gradually building up like a regular um, uh, fan base, if you like, people that do come back and enjoy watching the videos that I put out. I don't profess to be a YouTuber. That's not really my thing. It just so happens that YouTube is a platform that I use to produce content about my RC journey, whatever I'm doing. I hope that that the fan base that I have, the followers, enjoy what I do. And I'm just introducing myself because recently I've entered a competition that was organised for PoorboysRC Speed-run challenge, which has been going on for quite a while, as in over the years, various different radio control car chassis, and getting the community together to perform these runs and compete for prizes, which I didn't actually know existed. So I thought I'll do a quick intro, because just maybe if you've not seen my channel before and you don't know who I am, you may have even watched some of my videos in the past, but I thought I'd introduce myself before I get on to the video. Now, the video you're about to see is my build up to the speed run event organised by Phil at Poor Boys RC, using the chassis that you see behind me and the upgrades that I'm about to do. So without further ado, we'll get on to the video in question. There's no running in this video. That'll be the next video. This is just a quick chat about the competition, the chassis, and what I'm going to use for my speed run entry. Hello RC fans, Racing 393 here for a bit of a special video, to be honest. Not organised by myself. I'd like to sort of add that point in, but I'm rather excited to announce that I'm going to be entering a competition regarding a speed run with the said Tamiya chassis. You can see there in the pictures the MF01X, relatively inexpensive. I do have one. The other picture that's just to the right of what you're looking at is when I last did a speed run myself, but I didn't want to damage the body, so I didn't max out, and it's pretty much been set on the shelf since. I've done a few upgrades with it. I'll put a link in the description of where you can find that video, and I'll also put a link in the description of who has organised this event. Phil at Poor Boys RC does these every year, apparently. I've never heard of it, if I'm honest. It's worldwide, so anybody can enter. There's 3 different classes, basically using this MF01X chassis. Now, I'll put a link in the description, and you can go along there and see Phil's channel, and I might even link the video, because all the answers, all the questions that you'll have will be answered there. Saves me going into it. So, what's next? Well, just out of shot, just up there, and there, I've got that Escort. I hopped it up to a certain level. I like this Escort. It's I was going to buy another one. I was stupid enough to think get another one. It's not until you start adding it all up from scratch. It's a lot of money. I'm not saying you have to spend that sort of money, but what I want to do, I'm I can just convert the car I've got. So I think because it's already been on the channel, I think we'll hop over to the shed and just go over some really basic things that I've done. I just sort of rekindle your interest and just go over what I've already done. And then hopefully by the time I get down to the shed, I am due a small delivery which relates to this kit, so I can show you that as well. And I'll go over in a little bit more detail about what I'm going to do. And then hopefully, well, not hopefully, what I plan to do then is do some various running videos of me getting up to speed with this, and then eventually not only you will see the final outcome, but you'll see the video or the speed that I think is about all I can do, which is the film that I will send off to Phil at PoorboysRC to enter the competition. So yeah, it'd be quite interesting. I'm really excited about this. It just gets the community together, and you don't need an excuse to spend money on your hobby. However, it kind of makes sense to spend money on your hobby when you've got something like this potentially to go for. I don't expect to win. There are prizes. Like I say, there'll be a link in the description of the channel of Poor Boys RC, and I'll try and link that particular video. Right, so I think, looking at my watch, without further ado, let's take everything down to the shed and we'll go from there.
And here we are in the shed. This is the chassis. If you've seen it on the video before channel, you'd have seen this video. It's done one run. Don't think I've taken it out any more than that, but this is the original body shell, and in the kit, it's pretty dusty actually, but it came pre-painted. It's got a few scuff marks on it where it did go over. I have actually, on this one, put lights on the back and the front. Yeah, but I won't be using this body shell just for that reason. But I've got something else to show you. So effectively these videos won't be like a build video of this. There's absolutely no point, because you've seen, I did a build video I think of this before. I did a build video of this before. So when I built this, there's a few upgrades on it which I did. Shocks is one. I put slicks on it because I want to run it, not off-road as such, and get the body shell lower. In this one I've got a vintage brushed motor. That will change. All the electrics will change, apart from maybe the servo. The battery in it is a nickel metal hydride battery, so that won't be used. I'm going to use a 3S as per rules, and I've got some other hop-ups which I will put on, and I'll sort of perhaps tell you about them once I've got them. I can't quite remember what I put in. It's got a ball diff in it. It's got these fluoride or racing shocks. It's just standard hobby wing ESC. That's coming off on the motor. And the wheels, not using these wheels either, so we're going to use touring car wheels, so they're slightly bigger. I can't remember if I put anything in the gearbox. There's going to be an engine plate going in, which we might have to modify to take bigger pinions. Don't know yet. There'll be other videos of running videos of me getting up to a speed which I think is suitable. Don't know what to expect really. what sort of speeds I mean, I haven't got this very quick anyway. I don't know what it's on the video, 34 miles an hour or something like that. But I didn't want to wreck the shell. So, moving on, we've got this. I keep buying Easy Run Max 10s. Got hundreds of them. No, I haven't. You got both grasshoppers have got these in. So I had this from Model Sport. They kindly put the Dean's connector on, because that's generally, I don't have to use them, but I tend to have batteries which have them on, so it just makes it easy for me. I might rewire the length of the wires, it all depends. And this is a 80 amp ESC. The motor, which eludes me at the moment, so that's what I've got. 5,400 kV and 3652 brushless motor. So that's what's going in with that ESC. So I'm not going to film the installation of that. I don't think there's much point. And I've also got a new unpainted, you see that? Just about. I've gone for the Escort again, just because I'm a bit of a sucker, really. I haven't bought a shell for years, but as in a saloon. It's all in there. Let me try and just open it a little bit. So Lexan body shell. Not sure what colour to do it yet. I might not do it white, because I've got a white one. But I'm not putting all the features on it. As in, well, I think there's only one thing. Door mirrors. All these things that come with it won't be used. So I'm not using that. I won't be using that. Or that. These are like the light fittings. There's obviously the decal instructions, and there's the decals. So what I've actually pretty much got. I might use some of these obviously, but I'm not going to use the blue. And I might use the blue. It just depends on what colour I want to do the body shell. Something that stands out. Might do a very sort of candy colour or something that will go with the blue, like a blue candy colour. I don't know. I quite like the blue that I did on my LMP, if I'm honest. That would look alright as a two-tone blue colour. I'll just quickly show you that if you've not seen that. Ooh, you dropped it. So that was my two-tone we're talking about. That was my just blue. Might get that blue again. That would look quite nice on the shell with the blue stickers. Just a contrast. I don't know. I think it'd look alright. Yeah, it's not so much about the colour, is it? That's not going to make it go faster, but it will look better. So yeah, it'd be quite good. You know, maybe you should think about subscribing to see this project. I'll break this because in this video we're going to start upgrading. So this video will be all about the upgrades, but perhaps not showing you the upgrades because, well, you've seen it all before, haven't you? So there's no point me dismantling it and filming it unless you want to see that. Don't know, maybe I'll do like a video short to see what you think, to see how deep I go into this. Competition runs, you'll get this all off PoorboysRC anyway, but it runs from the 15th of August this year, 24, finishes on September 30th, so you've got quite a long time to get one of these up and running. 3S, maximum 65mm tyre size. I won't be going that high, and you are allowed gyros. I don't think I've got a gyro, I'm not sure. I might have to use the electronics. Is not as important in this because it's not going around a track, it is literally going in a straight line. Or that maybe a gyro would help, but I don't know whether what I've got in there has a gyro. I can't remember. I can't remember which hand controller it is. Let's try and look now. I believe they're not very good. I think it's this. So again, because I'm only going in a straight line, it doesn't really matter. But, yeah. It's not expensive, but when you start adding it all up, it is expensive. That's a contradiction. Right, so I'm gonna leave that there. I'm gonna probably do like a YouTube short. I'm gonna see, that'll be out before this video, to see what people think. Not very good at doing shorts. It's on the phone as well, isn't it? So yeah, alright, I'll do that and I'll be back whichever, but this video will be all the build for this kit in various stages, and then we'll start the runs, like the test runs and the preliminary runs to get it all set up, and then the actual run that you do has to be done with no editing at all. Just any bits in between, like you can speed up, but you can't have any cuts. I guess to stop people cheating, I guess, but there'll be many of videos you'll see before that of edited versions of me doing test runs. Don't know how many I'll do, but we'll see. Yeah. Right. I'll do the next bit. Right. This is what I've done. Now, I did give a little video short to see whether anyone would be interested in like a more detailed build. Some did, got a few likes. I assume people would like to see that. I went ahead actually, and because it wasn't mega interesting, it's just stuff I was putting on. But so far, I've got some other stuff that you probably can't see, but so you can see here. I can't remember what the last part of the video was, but anyway, we're back to a rolling chassis. I've got the easy run on there, max 10. They are a bit over, they're massive, aren't they? They're a bit big. Like I said, I got one in here, and my grasshoppers and various other things. They're good value for money. What else have I done? Right, so on the back, engine plate, aluminium. So I've got that. Obviously the tyres for the speed run. I think I might have to turn these down a little bit, but I don't know yet. You can't see it, but the servo's the worst thing on this car. It's the first thing in. It's got like an aluminium housing, so that's in there. It doesn't have to have that, of course. The servo's just a cheapo 20 kg Chinese effort. I bought these from either Banggood or AliExpress, I think. They're alright. I've got another one there which is brand new, but it doesn't work. I've recently bought a tester, which actually might test that one in a minute. Actually, you just have to have some power on it, which is I've just used one of these for now. Whoops. So it allows you to test servos without actually powering everything on. What else? Got the motor to put in, so you've seen that. Well, you know I've got that. In the back, whilst I was showing you this, I've got Yeah Racing universal drive shafts. Can't really see them, but they are there. Was going to put them in the front, but didn't buy them, so haven't. It's got the ball diff. The front's all standard, just as it comes out of the kit. And I've also got titanium screws for no other reason other than, well, they look good, and it's just a bit easier with just using one tool to get them off. Oh, and I've also adjustable front turnbuckles for the steering. You know what they are, so not going to be too exciting putting those on. I've got adjustable turnbuckles for the rear camber, and the front camber, I'm going to change them for, you know, adjustable turnbuckles, which I've got. They're only short, like really short, but I haven't got any. I'll have to have a look. 3mm ball cups and brass, what are they called? Ball joints. I'm trying to think what else I got. Various pinions. I know we're quite restricted, so this is one I had on it anyway. My eyesight, come on! 23 teeth. You don't need to see that, but I can show you it close up. You can just see for yourself. That was on it. I'm probably going to use that because I've got to try it with this easy run. The plan is to release this video. Oh, I'm sort of butted in myself. I've got my paint. So I'm going to do the shell that colour, back it with the proverbial white, but use the original decals. So I think this is a blue on blue. Is that like double denim? Shouldn't we do that? I don't know. Yeah, rather than white, I've got a white one and it's sat down there, you can't really see it, but other things I've got, I'm just trying to look at my bag of stuff. Nothing of interest. No, nothing that's going to change what I've already got on the car. So the plan is on this video is to perhaps I'll do another like intro so people know who I am. I guess people that might watch this haven't watched any of my channel, so there'll be a release video of that, this up and running, and I haven't even got a battery yet. I haven't got a 3S. And then in the next video we'll have a look at, well, the body shell would have been done, painted and installed, and then run for its first unofficial preliminary run. My plan is not to select that as my first go-to video for PoorboysRC, because it's going to be an ongoing sort of project. We've got until the, what is it? I've got it down here now. 30th of September, so towards the end of September is when I will hopefully be dialed in and I'll be able to get my maximum what I'm going to get out of it. That's the plan. Yeah, I'm going to crack on with this now. I suppose I've got to get the motor on and get that in, and then I've got to sort the wiring out, because I'm going to probably shorten the wires. I don't want them like a crap load everywhere. So out of interest, if you're interested, I'm sort of jumping back and forth here, but these tyres are 1/10 32 Shore Jap, so that's what I'm using. They're about £9 English, probably $15 US, and 59,000 million Australian dollars. Whatever the conversion is always mental. There is movement here, which I wasn't aware of that before. Oh, I've also bought like stainless steel, like, though, what are they? Where are they? These, what are they called? Pivots. suspension shafts. So I've got to make up the rear camber links, put the motor in, buy some few bits, replace the front camber link, wire it all up. Maybe I might not need to turn these down just yet. The tyres, they're pretty wear, I'll get that. They're a bit, I never noticed this much plate, as I was saying. I don't know why. Why didn't I notice that before? It's almost these pins are not as, it's like they're different to what came out. I mean, that's what come out. And I don't have any that. I've got any here. I've got some spares here. So they're just stainless. If I look at these a minute, whilst I'm here, hang on a minute. So that's, let me wipe that off a minute. I've still got a little bit of grease. I have greased them up. I'll tell you what, we always talk about the weather, don't we, on these? Well, I do. The other day in the UK, even today, outside temperature was probably about 32. Today it touched 32. But yeah, and inside the shed, it got up to like 38, 39. It was unbearable. That's Fahrenheit, no, centigrade. What do we use? I don't know. Why don't I know? And today, from about, I was still working, so from about like 5 o'clock in the evening, and I got home about 5:30, the temperature dropped 11 degrees. So it was like, and it'd been really hot and stuffy. So it did touch 32 today, and it was 21. Clouded over, and I've for a long time not seen rain like this. I couldn't even see the road. It was getting a bit worrying, and I was quite local. Every road was flooded, even roads that shouldn't flood. Wipers on like maximum still didn't clear the water on the screen. But anyway, that's the fun and games that we have in the UK. Yeah, so interestingly, that's the two like shafts. That's the standard one, and there's the new one. I'll have to measure them. They look slightly different. Why? Why is that happening? So the one that came off the car, we'll do this live. A live show. That's 2.9mm. It's got to be the same, isn't it? 2.9mm. What am I talking about? What a waste of a conversation. But it's just got a little bit of play on here, so it must, I haven't used this car, so it must be just shit. Simple as that. Nothing else to it. I'm a bit tired, if anything. Right, I think I'm going to get the motor in, and I'll come back when I've got something interesting to show you, I think. So I don't need to cut the wires. Whoop, because they're not taut, but they're quite long anyway for the motor, so they're fine. The what's that, sensor lead, that's in there, that's what that is. These are super long. I'm not going to bother cutting these down. I just sort of tie them up a little bit. Battery wire, the on-off switch, which I think I might put on the side, but I haven't done that yet. Motor's in, fine. The pinion, the one that was already in it, 23 teeth. I've got two other pinions there, 24 and 25. Don't know if that'll even fit, but there is a bit of room here on some, you know, on this adjustment here where you sort of pivot the back here. There's still room to move that. I've got the rear links to make and some bits to buy for the front, and then a bit of wire tidying. Then I've got a 2S battery. I mean, I could test it on 2S and then try 3S. I don't need the 3S battery just yet. Some setup, making sure everything's pointing in the right way. It feels okay. Like I said, the tyres do seem to rub here and there, but the problem is with these ones, they're the ones that came off it. They were much smaller and narrower. I've got to charge this. I think, yeah, it is. This is the like I said, the hand controller. Yeah, it's fine. It all works. This is okay. It's okay for what I need it for. It's no good for racing. So that's fine. That's fine. Yeah. I haven't changed all the screws to titanium. Some of them probably won't be needed when I take this front link off. You know, things like the shocks, especially that top one. Can I get to that? Yeah, okay. Maybe I can change them. You know, the body posts. These like upright things above the hubs. If I get round to it, I will. It's certainly not for speed. It's not going to make any difference whatsoever, but just they're relatively cheap. It looks better. Got a nice space there for the Sky RC to be put down on there, so it's inside the car out of the way. The reason one of the reasons I don't need to do the motor wires, one, they're long enough. Two, well, actually no, I was thinking of undoing them from the back, but I didn't need to bother. I would have cut the ends off and put new ones on, but I don't need to worry about that. And it's not like a race buggy where you're looking for weight. I mean, it is reasonably heavy. I think what I'll do, finish up all the wire tidying and everything, put a 2S in it, fit the rest of the bits I've got, just the links. Next video? Yeah, the next video will be running like a preliminary test, I think, with the body shell on, painted, and a 2S run. Right, so this is the plan, Stan. This will be the end of this part. It's more of an introduction. I'll do just so people know who I am. I'm just me, but you know, just so you know. In the next video, it will just be the body shell on and a 2S test run, just to see what it's like, how stable it is. But I'll go over some bits that I've done, like setup, you know, what I've done after this video to make it ready to run. And then, yeah, so the next video will be like an actual running video, and then subsequent videos will be my build up to the one I submit to PoorboysRC and see. I don't know what most people get. I don't know, high 60s, and I think they're on brushed. Can't remember what I've seen now, but I've got others to watch. Let me know what you think if you watch this compared to yours. I've spoken to quite a few of you already. It looks good, actually. I mean, I'm looking for. It's actually better than I expected it to be. One is I didn't know about these. I might have read about them somewhere or watched videos and not realised the sort of the background. And two, it does get the community together, talking to people perhaps you wouldn't normally talk to, especially even in RC. They're sort of drawn towards your channel via other channels, and I think that's really good. And when you look into it, well, from my perspective, loads of bloody people do speed runs within channels. I didn't even know. I think it's okay providing you've got the chassis already, because it can become like super expensive. I'm not really one for taking stuff out and using it in other cars. That's my problem. Got the fan RC up there waiting, got some bits for that, which I'll go for another video on that. LMP12's ready to race. I didn't do the last meeting, but you know, doesn't really matter. So yeah, yeah, I think that's it. If you don't know me, hopefully you will now, and if you do know me, maybe you'll continue watching. Who knows? that'll do for this video. Test video 2S run will be next, when it stops being like 30 degrees, then 20 degrees, and then chucking down with rain, and then hot. Oh, world's gone crazy. Right, I'll see you in the next video.